So, after some beginner's mistakes and lost footage, I'm back to be serenaded by this beautiful puff that is Jiggly. Here to heal my Pokemon and take on Brock. After several more technical difficulties, I have to record this post-commentary of, remember all the great things that I said. Like Beedrill only knowing Harden when it evolves. It's very useful, and by very useful, I mean very irritating. I hope you caught on to that. Just one thing after another, and man, this thing is turning into a chore quick. I'm gonna put up with all this. It's happened in each of the last 2 videos, but I'm not one to complain unless it's about everything, so let's take on Brock. The first boss of the game is the Pewter City Gym Leader, and he believes in being rock hard. If you pay attention to his abilities with women in the show, you know what he means. Rock hard. Did you get it? Oh man, pretty subtle. He's shirtless. I'm scared. That Geodude has a hip haircut right there. Let's do this. You get to see my brand new Ivysaur go to town against this Geodude. The flower kind of looks like a baboon's butt. Not to be crass, but that looks like a monkey's butt. I could have made it fine. It would have been so clever. I could have crushed the 7 C's or... Man, I'm slurring words like I'm drunk right now, but either way, 2-hit KO took down Brock in his shirtlessness. This is the only time you get the badge in the actual battle in the entire series, as far as I'm aware. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so. It's an official badge. That's always good, because I don't want some bootleg badge. Nuh-uh. I want the real thing. I can now use Flash outside of battle, which is really only useful for one dungeon. Shouldn't have even been Meecham. Let's turn to a TM later. Speaking of which, TMs, in these games, they can only be used once, and then they break or something. And Black and White fixed that. Not like it was a glitch, it's just they wanted to make things inconvenient. And you can use them infinite amount of times. Bide is an awful move, a very, very awful move, and if I ever catch someone using it, usually my first reaction is to tie them to a radiator, and then beat them over the head with a frozen turkey until they learn their lesson. This is not a game. Insert obvious joke here. I'm gonna jump down here because there's nothing there, and I like to spoil myself like that. Whatever I mean by that. Yes, I did look at you, even though I was clearly not looking in your direction. How did you know? I'm pretty good like that. You're making me irrationally angry. Your leg looks like it's broken. It's like, oh yeah, she could have her leg up against the other one in sort of a tee-hee kind of pose, that's what I call it. But it just looks like her leg's made out of jello. Yes. Looks like someone used that curse in Harry Potter that I don't even know what I'm referencing anymore. So I'm gonna go back to feeding on Pidgeys. Yay! Let Let's kill the Pidgeys. Let's have a genocide of bird guts. Make roadkill. Da-doo-doo. Yes, and I have taken care of this trainer and grew to level 18. The levels are coming rapidly and they are coming fast. Yes, in case you were mistaken, they are both. And no, I'm not being mean, okay? You're the one who's like, you didn't look at me, but I think you did, so let's battle! And then we battled, and you lost, and now you're crying in a puddle of tears, sitting there, wallowing in your filth. You disgust me. This guy disgusts me more because look at this, he should have a Butterfree, this should be a challenging fight, but he's like, nope, not today, my fellow man. I will have the strongest Caterpie in all the land. And same thing with this Weedle. You could be a Beedrill right now. You could be... well, actually you would be just as bad, so... but I want the experience. The experience of knowing that I beat a bee into the ground. Because that's not happening in real life, I can tell you that. Yes, I still have an irrational fear. After all these 2 days. You beat me again. Yep, I saw you in Verdant Forest. You were the one that liked bugs, right? Oh, they're comfy and easy to wear. Are you kidding? No way. My pants are so difficult. Like, usually I try to put them on and I'm like, oh, this button and the zipper, what do I do now? And then I flailed myself off a bridge. But shorts, they're not like that because they don't have things like buttons and comfort. No. Well, actually, according to this kid, shorts are really comfortable. But I tend to disagree, youngster. Back in my day, we wore pants. And these days, most people do too. Especially here in New England, because it is cold. Wrap in this game is very annoying. You can switch out of it, which is nice, because in the future game you can't do that, but it lasts 2 to 5 turns and you can't move. CPU players don't switch out though, so that makes it a very good move, especially with Toxic, racking up poison damage. In fact, I plan to use that on my team. I usually have a Cloyster to do this, because Clamp and Toxic goodness is rather, for lack of a better term, rather hot. Rather zesty. It's a rather zesty enterprise. But, alas, I don't have that on any of my teams. Unlike usual. Your shorts are way too short. You're embracing this lifestyle way too much. And your hat is weird. Because your tuft of hair is coming out of the side of your hat. Because your hat is sideways. Clearly, and your tuft of hair is coming out the side. Which means their hole is not in the back of your hat, but in the side of your hat. You're making me disgruntled. And, okay, really. I do not have shorts. I realize this. Okay? Why are you so cool because you have shorts? You're making me rather indescribably angry right now, okay? Shorts wearers. They always think they're superior. I'm gonna leech seed your Spearow because you're looking at me with a rather alluring stare right there. I'm kinda getting a little flustered. I don't like the way your Spearow's looking at my Ivysaur. I'm trying to think of a witty pun, but I cannot think of one. Spearow, stop looking at me. Your love will die, as will you. Look at that Ivysaur's face. It's just not into you, buddy. This is before genders were invented anyways. There wouldn't be anything in it for you. Besides making little baby plant bird. It's an abomination, that's what it is. It's really disgusting. Okay, yeah, alright, move to New England, you do that. I don't know what Kanto's winters are like, but if they're anything like, New England's, I am calling shenanigans. Beetle's head kind of looks like a volleyball, and the fact that it's round and volleyball's around. I kind of want to play volleyball with its head, with my friends. And it'll be beautiful, except none of my friends play volleyball, so I would be there hitting it myself. And it would be great. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like an amazing time right there. Glorious even. Kakuna, stop having arms. It doesn't even make sense. Yep. Cater pie. Cater pie's up. Yep. I don't know if this was in the deleted footage or not, but I pronounce a lot of Pokemon's names weird, at least I used to. Like, Rattata would be Ratatat, like, you know, a drum. And then Lapras, I still call Lapras because that's what it is, despite everything else saying otherwise. Don't make me correct you, it is Lapras. You gotta make it sound like it's extremely difficult to say, even though when you actually say Lapras, it's not that hard to say. It's actually kind of fun, like, hey, have you seen my Lapras? People are like, Lapras, and I'm like, Lapras, that sounds like a disease. I don't have a disease, not that you need to know of. Alright, let's take on one more trainer and then call it a day, and hopefully, this one will save, and I will not have to do this again. And yes, I do have rather intriguing looks. Well, lass, if you want to get some butterbeer after, go to the 3 broomsticks. That pun would have worked better if it worked at all. Rat genocide. Next on Fox. Oh, that was another Rattata. That would have worked better. No, it can work just as well. Poison, indescribable small animal thing being genocided. Next on Fox. Fox's lineup's pretty good, but I don't know if it can take that. That would be pretty good for its ratings. Yeah, I beat that lass. I'm not mean! Stop it! Goodness, you're making me feel so mean. Unjustifiably. Goodbye, I will see you.